Hello and welcome to a new vlog. This is the second of two dedicated reading vlogs. If you watched my vlog last week or the one that went up last week, you will know that I read the entire of the Wicked Villain series by Katie Robert, and it's because I am in Florida when these are going up, so I couldn't give you my normal content. So I'm pre-recording these and doing a bit of a themed reading vlog, Disney style. Now this one is going to be vastly different from last week's. Last week was a smutty adult retelling type books of Disney villains getting a happy ending. More ways than one. But this one is going to be a lot more PG. So these are... I think these are I don't know if these are classed as middle grade or YA, but I am going to be completing the Villains series. Now, I have got 5 books to read. I have currently read the first 3. So the first 3 are Fairest of All, The Beast Within, and Poor Unfortunate Souls. They are the first 3, and I have read these 3. I still need to read Mistress of All Evil, Mother Knows Best, The Odd Sisters, Evil Thing, and Cold Hearted. There are actually going to be at least 1 or 2 more books in this series. I believe the Hook one is coming out in September, which is really frustrating that it's coming out after I'm doing this video. But these are all the ones that are currently released. So I have 5 books. Now these books are quite small. This one looks quite chunky, but if you look, the margins and the writing are quite big, so I don't see myself having an issue. So this first one is 313 no. This first one is 316 pages, but honestly, I don't think this is going to take me long. But I'm really excited to get stuck in. So, it is currently quite late, but it is a Friday evening when I'm filming this clip. So, I'm going to see how much of the Mistress of All Evil book I can get read. And I will check in with my thoughts in a little while, but I thought I would just open up this vlog and tell you what the plan is for this week's vlog. I'm very excited. I'm not going to be reading these back to back. Not all of them anyway. I do have a few other books I need to be getting to that I'm going to be slotting in between these, and also to break it up a little bit, which is why another reason why I'm pre-filming this. So let's get cracking. So I have only managed 74 pages because I've just come over really tired. But so far I'm really enjoying this. I'm really liking how the previous ones are linking into this, and I've seen a lot of people say you don't need to read these in order, but I think you do. Just based off of the 3 entire ones I've read and the 74 pages of this one, you definitely do have to read these ones in order because they do very much link. And the beginning of this really stresses on something that happens at the end of the 3rd book. So yeah, you do need to read them in order. But I'm really enjoying this so far. And yeah, I will hopefully finish this one tomorrow. I don't know if I will because I've got a lot to do tomorrow, but hopefully I can at least get a little bit more of it read. Hello. So, quick update, thought I'd give you one. I have finished Mistress of All Evil. I actually finished this last night, but by the time I finished it, I was just so tired, I just wanted to get in bed. But this got a 4-star. I really enjoyed this. I liked how we got to see from, the main thing I like about this series is that we get to see the classic Disney stories we know from the villain's side, and we get to see maybe why they did the things they did, and we get to see the actual consequences from their side. I will say I did mark out one thing with a Tesco receipt. This isn't really a spoiler, but obviously this follows like obviously Maleficent's side of why she did what she did to Aurora. And she says, why must a young girl need a man to save her? Why can't a princess fight for her own life, break her own curse? Why must it always be a prince? And it's got, I want to kill Prince Philip on principle, just so we don't have yet one more prince kissing some helpless sleeping girl, making her feel like she has to marry him out of gratitude. Like, thank you, Maleficent. And this is why I like the villains, because they are smarter and have more common sense than the heroes. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. Maleficent is one of, I wouldn't say she's a favourite villain of mine, but she is definitely up there. She's such an interesting character, and this really, this version in particular of her story, I really like, and I really like how it went. There were some things that I weren't expecting, and I really enjoyed them, and I don't know what else I can say without spoiling the entire story, and I want to try and keep this vlog completely spoiler free. I know last week I did the whole holding up the hand when I'm talking spoilers, but I kind of want to keep this one spoiler free, and it's really hard to talk about this one without spoilers. But I really liked seeing the other fairies from Maleficent's point of view. So obviously Merryweather, Fauna and Flora, the fairy godmothers in this, and I really like getting to see more of Nanny in this, because Nanny has been in, I know she was in Poor Unfortunate Souls, I can't remember if she was in the other two, but like, this is what I mean by you kind of have to read these ones in order, because they do very much link, and it is very much a series and not a series of standalones. So yeah, but I'm really enjoying this. And the next book I need to read for this one is Mother Knows Best, which is the chunkiest one. I don't know how many pages this one is. This is 390 pages, so this is the biggest one of all of them, I believe. So I'm gonna try and start this one maybe tonight, we'll see, not sure yet, but I will keep you updated anyway. Hello, I have some updates. Now, I was actually hoping to finish this book today, but I started Mother Knows Best and I only have about 100 pages left. I have like powered through this. This is a really good one. I do think Mistress of All Evil is still currently my favourite so far, but I'm really enjoying how this one is setting up the story we know of Gothel. So like, this hasn't even got to Rapunzel yet, like the film Tangled. It's not even got to that point yet. It is really setting up the story and like of her background, and I'm loving it, because that's the whole point of these, is like us finding out the background of the villain, because obviously we don't need to see the story because we've seen the Disney films. But I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying the involvement of the Odd Sisters in all of these, because obviously they don't exist in the movies, and I'm really enjoying how they all link. So something that happens in Mistress of All Evil has just been mentioned in this, and oh yeah, I'm really enjoying this. So I'm hoping I can finish this tomorrow, and then I can give you my final thoughts on this one and then move on to the next one. Hello, I did not update you yesterday. I was very tired, and I will explain in a moment. So yesterday I did finish the last like 100-ish pages of Mother Knows Best. This was a 4-star. I really enjoyed learning about Gothel's life before we see her in Tangled, like the film Tangled with Rapunzel and everything. I do think that it was maybe a little bit too long. I don't think we needed everything in as much detail as we got it. And I think that's why it got a 4-star, not a 5, because it just felt a little bit too long. But ultimately, I did really enjoy it, and enjoyed seeing, once again, how the Odd Sisters were interfering with everything. And I liked seeing the build up of the background plot that's been going on for the last like however many books now of the Odd Sisters, which is leading up to the next book, which is the Odd Sisters. So yeah, I did really enjoy that aspect and enjoyed seeing how Gothel become Gothel, and just like all the little background tidbits that we don't get in the film. And once again, this is why I love these books, because the villains just have such so much more interesting backstories. Like, I'm not saying they're good people, but they have more interesting backstories. So yeah, so I finished that 4 stars. And then I did move on to the Odd Sisters. Now, I was listening to the audiobook of this and I remember chapter 3, and the next thing I know, I woke up from a power nap and it was on chapter 8. So I quickly paused it and realised I was going to have to go back and reread chapters 4 to 8. So I set it back up on chapter 4, and then I listened to the audiobook on the way like to work and on my lunch break, and I finished it just as I was heading on my way from work. And again, this was a 4-star. I really enjoyed this one. I liked the direction it took with the sisters, and obviously like with Cersei and everything. And I'm finding it really hard to explain. So I wasn't going to do this in here, but I'm going to hold my hand up while I talk spoilers, and then when you see my hand go down, I've finished talking spoilers. So I really liked how, you know, we found out about the Odd Sisters and how they became 3, and the fact that Lucinda was the one child and then suddenly was made into 3, and the backstory behind that as well, because that was like a rough thing. And Jacob, oh, I love Jacob, but also Cersei finding this out and Cersei sacrificing herself so that they could be whole again was just, I was like, I almost cried, which would have been great because I was waiting for a bus at that point. So I really enjoyed that, and I really enjoyed, like, oh, enjoyed's the wrong word. I thought it was really well written with that, and it was really sad to see Cersei go and Flans, but ultimately I'm intrigued to see where this goes, because the sisters now have a choice, and I'm intrigued to see whether we will find out that the choice they make in the next book, or if they won't be in the next book. I am not sure, but I will be getting to it soon, so I'll find out my answers to my questions soon. And that's the non-spoilery bit. But yeah, really enjoyed this, and cannot wait to move on to the next one. I only have 2 left in this series now, which is amazing. Binging this series has been quite fun actually, because they're very fresh in my mind. When I read Poor Unfortunate Soul? Yeah, when I read Poor Unfortunate Souls a few months back, it had been about a year since I'd read the book before that, and then about a year before that since I'd read the book before that. And even though I remembered, I feel like I'm taking these stories in a lot more now because they're a lot fresher in my mind. So yeah, really enjoying this and excited to start the next book, which is Evil Thing, which is the Cruella de Vil one. So excited to dive into that in the next few days. Hello. So I have some really good updates. I've been very productive today. I am going to make this kind of quick because it's gone midnight. So I read the entirety of Evil Thing today. This was a 4-star. I really enjoyed this. This is the first one that hasn't really felt like it's part of the series. So obviously we find out Cruella's story, and honestly, my heart broke for her. Like, there's a certain point where I'm like, my heart's not breaking for you anymore. You need therapy. But her life was not great, and I really felt for her. And yeah, she definitely needed help. But no one helped her. So yeah, I really enjoyed also you sort of find out like the whole like half white half black hair, which I really liked. And yeah, it's made me really want to watch like rewatch the animated Disney movie, because I love that film and I've not watched it in years. So I might do that soon. But I really enjoyed this, and I then went straight into Cold Hearted, which is the final book I'm reading for this vlog, and I am happy to report I have just finished this. This was a 4-star, however, I think I'm going to have to double check my core pile ratings, but I'm pretty sure this is my highest rated, even though it is still a 4-star. I'm pretty sure this is my highest rated. I really enjoyed this. I absolutely loved seeing Lady Tremaine's story, and to the point, like, all of these have made me feel sorry for the villain, but this one, to the point I was sad about how it ended for her, and I didn't think I would ever feel sorry for Lady Tremaine. But I really, really felt for her. And it was interesting to see sort of like where in the timeline this one starts. So like this one, very much the Odd Sisters are in this one, but it is before the events of, I think, before the events of Fairest of Them All. So timeline wise, like, this mostly takes place before that, but then obviously like the wrap up of it takes place in like the current timeline. There was also a mention of a pirate, which I'm really liking the fact that it set up the next book, which is Hook's book, which I'm really sad didn't come out before I did this vlog, because I cannot wait to read that one, because it's Hook. But I'm excited to see where that one goes. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this one, and I feel like it really nicely set up us learning about Lady Tremaine's like past and how she ends up with Cinderella's dad. And yeah, made me feel really bad for her. So yeah, so I have finished all of these books now. I am going to say, because it's so late, I do want to go through all of my core pile ratings with you for all of the books that I've read in this series. So I am going to catch up with you tomorrow to do that, just because it is very late and I don't want to have to keep like stopping to like yawn. So I will catch up with you in a few moments for you to go through all of the books in the series. Hello again. It is the next day. I have slept, I feel a bit refreshed, and now I'm going to give you my full rundown of the Disney Villain series up until this point. Like I said last night, I think it was, I am gutted that the Hook book, I love that that rhymes, doesn't come out yet, because I would have loved to have added that one in, but it's not going to happen. So in this vlog I have read 5 books. I'm going to give you the core pile ratings for these. Obviously these 3, the first 3, I did actually read a few years back. I actually looked it up and I read Fairest of All in 2019 and then the other 2 in 2020, which was before I started using core pile. I started using core pile in 2021. However, what I've done, I have actually, because I rated these two 4 and this 5, so I was curious to see if my core poll thoughts would be the same, and I put them through just as a additional thing just to see what they would come out as, and I was right about them. Fairest of All and The Beast Within are 4 stars, and Poor Unfortunate Souls is a 5-star. So I am going to go through what I put as the core poll ratings for these ones as well, even though I didn't read these in this vlog. So I've got my iPad with my notes on, so we're gonna go through these. So first up we have Fairest of All. So this got, for characters, a 7, atmosphere, writing and plot were all 8s, intrigue was a 7, logic and enjoyment were both 8, so it was a total of 7.71. Next up was The Beast Within. This got an 8 for characters, a 7 for atmosphere, an 8 for writing, a 7 for both plot and intrigue, an 8 for logic, and a 7 for enjoyment. So this was a 7.43. Then we have Poor Unfortunate Soul, which was a 10 for characters, 9s for atmosphere, writing and plot, an 8 for intrigue, and a 9 for logic and enjoyment. So this was a total of 9. Then we get onto the ones I have read in this vlog. So we have Mistress of All Evil. This was an 8 for characters, a 9 for atmosphere, an 8 for writing, 9s for plot and intrigue, and then 8s for logic and enjoyment. So this was an 8.43. Then we have Mother Knows Best. So this got 8s for characters, atmosphere and writing, a 9 for plot, and then 8s for intrigue, logic and enjoyment. So this was an 8.14. Then we have The Odd Sisters, which got 8s for characters, atmosphere, writing, a 9 for plot and intrigue, and then 8 for logic and enjoyment. So this was an 8.29. Then we have Evil Thing, which was an 8 for characters, a 7 for atmosphere, 8s for writing and plot, 7 for intrigue, and then 8s for logic and enjoyment. This was a 7.71. And then finally we have Cold Hearted, which was 8s for character and atmosphere, 9s for writing and plot, 8 for intrigue, and then 9s for logic and enjoyment. So this was an 8.57. So if I put those in order of least favourite to favourite, I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so in order of least favourite to favourite, my least favourite was The Beast Within. This got the lowest rating and the only one that got a 7 for enjoyment. So yeah, it wasn't like my favourite, clearly. Next up, these both got 7.71. So it's Fairest of All and Evil Thing. Now with the Wicked Villain series, when I had 2 that got the exact same total, I worked out which one I preferred over the other based on what I'd rated them for enjoyment. However, these both got an 8 for enjoyment, so I can't really decide out of these 2 which one I preferred more. So I'm just gonna leave these as these are joint next place. Next we have Mother Knows Best. I think if this had been a little bit shorter and there hadn't been as much information, this might have got a bit higher, but it didn't, so it's fine. Then we have The Odd Sisters. I thought this was a really good addition where it introduced, you know, characters that we don't know from the Disney films that we all grew up watching. So I really enjoyed this. I did think it'd be a bit higher up, but it's kind of like dead center on my favorites, so that's fine. Next we have Mistress of All Evil. I am not shocked that this was pretty high up because not just because it's Maleficent, but the story was just so good and I really loved how it had linked back with the previous book, which was Poor Unfortunate Soul. Then we have Cold Hearted. I did not expect the Cinderella one to be so high up on this list because Cinderella and Snow White are my least favourite Disney princess films. So I'm actually quite shocked that this one comes so high, but I really enjoyed this and I'm actually shocked this wasn't my favourite. But just hitting it to the post was Poor Unfortunate Soul, and I am very happy that this one was my favourite because it's Ursula. If you watched the vlog that went up last week, you will know that the Ursula book in that series was my least favourite, and I was actually gutted. But I'm very happy that this one was my favourite, because it's so good. So there we have it. There is my Disney Villains series. I wanted to say completed, but it's completed up until this point. So the Hook book is actually called Never Never, and this one is actually technically already out. I think it's already out in the US in hardback. However, it's not yet out in the UK in paperback. So realistically, I could have probably got it, but as you can see from this vlog, I've got them all in the UK paperbacks. So I am going to wait for Never Never to come out in this paperback. But I'm very excited for that because it is Hook, and yes, I'm hoping it comes out very soon. And honestly, now that I am up to date with this series, I don't anticipate it taking me long to get to that book. If I manage to get a copy of it before October, I might even add it in my October TBR, because it's gonna be fairly short. I mean, I know Mother Knows Best was quite chunky, but if you look at these are all, like, with the exception of that, I think they're all under 350 pages, and most of them are under 300 pages, and the writing is really big and the borders are huge. So yes, but I am so happy I've enjoyed this series. These started off, like, my mum got me the first 3, I think. Like, my mum and dad got me the first 3 for Christmas one year, because obviously I'm a massive Disney fan and villains are my favourites. And since then she's just carried on getting them for me. The only one that she didn't get me was Cold Hearted, and this was a gift from the lovely Lisa, from when I hit 1k on YouTube. So apart from that, my parents have got me all the rest as like Christmas and birthday presents over the years. I will say, where I've enjoyed this so much, I do think I might do a similar vlog where I read all of the Twisted Tales. I don't know when I would get to that. Maybe the next time I have a holiday where I'm not going to be able to edit anything for a while. But eventually I do want to do them, because I've not read any of those. But that would be one that I would need to plan well in advance, because it would take me a while to read all of them, because there's a lot more of them and they are bigger. So yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed this vlog. I've enjoyed filming it and binge reading these books. It's been a ride. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye.